What is up, guys? Definitely a little bit sick, Cacus here, and today we have a bunch of brand spankin' new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie Weekly update that has just been released and has unveiled some official Destiny 2 information. And so, let's get started. But just before we do, hey, I finally have some decent merch available for sale, so if you want to support the channel, check the link in the description down below. That's all. Now let's get started with the news. So, first things first, there's going to be some massive changes to exotics coming soon. Very soon, in fact, on the October 30th update for Destiny 2. So this is part of some quality of life improvements, and let's just read over what those entail. So again, October 30th, patch 2.0.5 is going to hit. Here are the general changes it's going to bring. Number 1, Banshee 44 will now accept up to 25 gunsmith materials at a time. Now, considering it takes 100 gunsmith materials to level up, this is going to be a pretty convenient change. Moving on from there, removing the hold time for Spider's material exchange interactions. So right now, you have to hold down a button in order to purchase one, hold it down again, purchase another pack of whatever the material or item may be. And if he's selling a certain planetary material that you want to stock up on, it's going to take a while. So another convenient change. Moving on from there, increasing the stack size of ghost fragments from 10 to 20. Another just overall helpful change. And lastly, reducing shader dismantle time from 1 second to 0.25 seconds. So let's move on and talk about exotics. So here are the changes coming to exotic duplicate waiting. So Bungie talked about this before. Basically, right now, it's pretty rare to get exotics, and when you do finally get an exotic, nothing is worse than seeing your 10th sweet business. So Bungie is going to address this by, number 1, when you're receiving an exotic, we will take into account all exotics you've found and weight them against exotics you have yet to acquire. This lowers the chance of receiving exotics you already own. Number 2, exotics that you do not yet own will be individually weighted much higher than duplicate exotics. And number 3, when receiving duplicate exotics, you will be more likely to earn armor pieces, as they have randomly rolled perks. Number 4, exotic quest weapons are being removed from the exotic engram loot pool. So, a bunch of changes there. Overall, this is going to make things so much easier, so much more convenient when you're playing the game and just trying to get exotics that you don't own. If you still don't have a Queenbreaker's bow, if you still don't have that missing Forsaken armor piece that you really want, after this update, that's going to be a great opportunity to grind and try to get that to drop. Because all 4 of these things combined, I think are going to have a pretty dramatic impact on the exotics you get. And I think this is the best way possible to solve the exotic problem. I've seen a lot of players suggest that they should just increase the drop rates, but that risks devaluing exotics and becoming a Destiny 2 launch situation. This is still going to maintain that really special feeling, that excitement when you get an exotic drop, but also make sure you don't get totally screwed by RNG as much as you are right now. Alright, now moving on from there, some more exotic news. 2 exotic weapons are actually going to get buffs in this update. Number 1, the Wish Ender. Firstly, they're increasing the base damage. This thing already does considerable damage. That actually very much interests me. Number 2, they're fixing an issue where the Broadhead perk would not properly activate under certain circumstances, which would result in a loss of damage. Essentially, Broadhead for the Wish Ender exotic bow would make it so that your arrow does damage going into an enemy and coming out. But if enemies were running to the side very swiftly, you would hit them, it would go in, but it would misregister coming out and you would miss out on that Broadhead activation. So fixing that is just going to make the exotic Wish Ender bow a lot more deadly overall, and so will an increase the damage straight up. Moving on from there, the Malfeasance exotic hand cannon Firstly, increasing explosive shadow detonation damage, and secondly, increasing damage against Taken and invaders. So the first part of that, the explosive shadow detonation damage, the Malfeasance, its exotic ability is that if you shoot an enemy 5 times, it shoots these slugs that when you get 5 of them in a single enemy, they're going to blow up and cause extra damage. So it, compared to a normal hand cannon of the same archetype, this is doing much more damage. Increasing that damage is fantastic, especially because something really unique about this weapon is that it doesn't actually matter where those slugs come from. If you shoot an enemy 3 times with a Malfeasance and your teammate who also has a Malfeasance shoots that same enemy 2 times, it's going to count those 5 in total and start detonations. So you're going to be able to trigger a ton more detonations if you have multiple people use this, and if they increase the damage substantially of those explosions, the Malfeasance team shot meta in PvE could become a real thing. And bonus damage against Taken, well, who doesn't want that? And invaders. Screw those guys, am I right? Moving on from there, another change that's going to impact pretty much everyone is enhancement cores. So, on October 30th, Masterwork cores are going to be renamed to enhancement cores. So, there's going to be the following changes as well. Number 1, more sources will award enhancement cores. They will be added to Scrapper bounties and 6 of the Spider's weekly bounties. So if you are struggling to upgrade your stuff because you don't have Masterwork cores, well, I guess enhancement cores now, this is great news for you. Also, enhancement cores will be more visible in the loot feed, so you'll know when you get them. Moving on from there, trace rifles are getting some pretty big changes as well. Number 1, they will now spawn with 50 starting ammo in the Crucible, and in addition to that, they will now be coded as auto rifles when it comes to interactions with armor. So they will benefit from the following armor perks: auto rifle loader, unflinching auto rifle aim, auto rifle targeting, precision weapon targeting, and auto rifle dexterity. So any of those perks now will affect trace rifles. So if you are already running auto rifles and enjoying auto rifles, slap on a trace rifle potentially, because that's going to get all the benefits that your auto rifle did. Now, another quick piece of news, Bungie is actually hosting a costume contest. So, right now through October 31st at 6 p.m. Pacific, you can use masks, armor, and shaders to create an in-game costume and post that picture to the creation page, Twitter, or Instagram with the hashtag Festival of Costumes. And out of all the submissions, 10 winners are going to be chosen and receive this very elusive emblem. So definitely enter that if you're interested. By the way, Bungie says group shots are welcome, humor encouraged, put on a mask and go and show the bad guys they can't keep us down. Alright, now moving on from there, we have news on some upcoming events. We've had increases to Valor in the past, but now we have some increases to Infamy, your Gambit rank, coming soon. So there's going to be a double Infamy time. So when you're playing Gambit, Infamy, the thing that you need to level up your Gambit rank, is going to be rewarded at double the rate starting at 10 a.m. Pacific on October 30th, basically when this update hits, and it'll end on 10 a.m. Pacific on November 2nd. But on November 2nd at 10 a.m., triple Infamy is going to start, and it's going to go all the way to 10 a.m. Pacific on November 7th. So if you want to grind Gambit, if you're looking for that god roll bygones, then definitely that is a fantastic time to do it. And moving on from there, the last thing we're going to talk about today is that the Refer a Friend program is back. Essentially, if you're a veteran Destiny 2 player and you convince a new player to hop on board, then they can use a link you provide to them to say, hey, this person, convinced me to start my Destiny 2 journey, and you will get rewards for doing that. You can get a ship, you can get this crazy moving ornament, you can get these emblems, and also if you refer multiple friends, then you get this sparrow. I wasn't really a massive fan of the Refer a Friend program, still am not, but dang if these things don't look cool. So that's up for you guys to do, and more information on how the Refer a Friend program will work and the ability to start doing that will come with the October 30th update. And guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.